In our last lesson, we tackled ransomware and learned how to defend ourselves from those digital hostage situations. Today, we're diving into another incredibly common and often underestimated cyber threat: phishing attacks. Phishing is the art of deception. It's all about tricking people into giving up sensitive information like passwords, credit card numbers, or even access to entire systems. And unfortunately, it's easier than you think to fall for it. The emails, texts, and websites that cybercriminals use are getting more sophisticated by the day. In this lesson, we'll break down what phishing is, how to spot a phishing attempt, and most importantly, how to avoid becoming a victim. Think of this as your personal phishing defense boot camp, because once you know what to look for, these scams are much easier to avoid. Let's start with a quick definition. Phishing is a type of cyber attack where attackers disguise themselves as trustworthy entities, like your bank, a well-known company, or even a coworker, to trick you into revealing sensitive information. A classic phishing attack usually involves an email or text message that looks legitimate that is actually a trap. Once you click on a link or download an attachment, you might be redirected to a fake website where you're asked to log in. Or worse, the action might automatically install malware on your device. Before you know it, your credentials are stolen, your accounts are compromised, and you're scrambling to figure out what went wrong. The good news? Phishing can be avoided once you know what to look for. Before we talk about how to spot a phishing attack, let's cover the most common types of phishing out there today. Knowing the different forms of phishing helps you stay alert, no matter how the attack is packaged. This is the most common form of phishing. Email phishing involves attackers sending out mass emails that appear to come from legitimate sources. The email might ask you to click on a link to verify your account or warn you that your account has been locked for suspicious activity. The goal is to make you panic, click the link, and enter your login details on a fake website. A phishing email might look like it's from PayPal, your bank, or even Amazon, warning you of suspicious activity. But, of course, it's all fake. Once you enter your details, the attackers have what they need to access your accounts. Now, spear phishing is a bit more targeted. Instead of casting a wide net with mass emails, spear phishing involves personalized attacks aimed at specific individuals or organizations. These attacks use information about you, such as your name, job title, or even recent online activity, to make the emails seem more convincing. For example, you might get an email that appears to be from your boss, asking you to download a document or urgently send some confidential information. Because the message seems to know who you are and where you work, you're more likely to trust it. Not all phishing happens via email. Smishing, SMS phishing, and vishing, voice phishing, use text messages and phone calls to pull off the scam. With smishing, you might receive a text message claiming to be from your bank, asking you to click a link to verify a transaction. With vishing, the attacker will actually call you, pretending to be from your bank or a government agency, and try to extract sensitive information over the phone. In both cases, the goal is the same: to create a sense of urgency and get you to act without thinking. And with more people relying on smartphones, these kinds of attacks are on the rise. Now, let's get to the heart of the matter. How do you spot a phishing attack before it's too late? Luckily, there are some clear warning signs that, once you know what to look for, can help you avoid these scams. 1. Look for suspicious email addresses. One of the first red flags is a suspicious email address. Even if the sender's name looks familiar, like Amazon support or your bank, check the email address itself. Phishers will often create email addresses that are very close to the real thing but contain small differences. For example, instead of support@amazon.com, the email might come from support@amaz0n.com. Notice the 0 instead of O. So, before you click anything, always check the sender's email address carefully. If it doesn't look right, it's likely a phishing attempt. 2. Beware of generic greetings and urgent language. Phishing emails often use generic greetings like "Dear customer" or "Dear user" because the attackers don't know your real name. This is a major red flag, especially if the email claims to be from a company you trust. Most legitimate companies will address you by name. Also, pay attention to the tone of the message. Phishing emails often try to create a sense of urgency or fear. They might say something like, your account will be suspended in 24 hours, or you must verify your identity immediately. If the email seems overly urgent or threatening, be cautious. Legitimate companies typically don't handle issues this way. 3. Hover over links before clicking. Another important step in avoiding phishing attacks is to hover over any links in the email before you click on them. By hovering your mouse over the link without clicking, you can see the actual URL that the link points to. If it doesn't match the official website of the company, it's a phishing attempt. For example, a link that says, click here to update your PayPal information might actually point to something like http://paypal.scamwebsite.com, which is a major red flag. Always double check where the link is really taking you before you click. 4. Watch out for attachments. Be very careful with unexpected email attachments, especially if they come from someone you don't know. Phishing emails often contain attachments that are loaded with malware. These could be disguised as PDF files, Word documents, or even zip files. Once you download and open the file, the malware gets installed on your system. A good rule to follow: if you weren't expecting an attachment, don't open it, especially from unknown senders. If the email looks like it's from someone you know, but you're still unsure, contact them separately to confirm they actually sent it. How to protect yourself from phishing attacks. Okay, now that we know what phishing looks like, let's talk about how to protect yourself. Fortunately, avoiding phishing attacks isn't rocket science. It just requires some common sense, a healthy amount of skepticism, and a few key security practices. 1. Use two-factor authentication, 2FA. We've mentioned this before, but it's worth repeating. Enable two-factor authentication, 2FA, on all your important accounts. Even if a phisher manages to steal your login credentials, 2FA adds an extra layer of protection. Without that second factor, usually a code sent to your phone, they won't be able to access your account. 2FA is like having a security guard in front of your digital door. Even if someone gets hold of your key, they still can't get past the guard. 2. Keep your software and security tools updated. Phishing attacks often try to exploit vulnerabilities in your system, so it's essential to keep your software and security tools up to date. This includes your operating system, web browser, email client, and antivirus software. Regular updates ensure that any security holes are patched, making it harder for phishers to get through. 3. Educate yourself and stay skeptical. When it comes to phishing, awareness is your best defense. Take time to educate yourself and stay up to date on the latest phishing tactics. Cybercriminals are constantly evolving their strategies, so being informed is key. Always be skeptical of unsolicited emails, texts, or phone calls, especially if they ask for personal information. Trust your gut. If something seems fishy, pun intended, it probably is. 4. Report phishing attempts. If you receive a phishing email, don't just delete it, report it. Most email services have a report phishing or mark as spam option. This helps your email provider block future phishing attempts and makes the internet a little safer for everyone. You can also report phishing attempts to the company being impersonated. For example, if you get a fake email from Amazon, forward it to their official security team. They take these threats seriously and work to shut down phishing sites. Phishing attacks can be sneaky and dangerous, but with the right knowledge and some common sense practices, you can spot them a mile away. Always double-check email addresses, be cautious with links and attachments, and remember, when in doubt, don't click. By following these guidelines and staying vigilant, you can greatly reduce your chances of falling victim to a phishing scam. In the next module, we'll continue building our defenses by focusing on securing your home network and personal devices. Until then, stay smart, stay skeptical, and keep those phishing emails where they belong, in the trash.